Battle, where Cleveland sports news meets biased and outspoken opinion. We have a very full game crew tonight, and we are ready to go. Brett Finnegan.
What's up?
Ramon Torres.
That's his name.
Dale Shantz-Tercy, better known as DST. I'm Mike Glass. We are going to look at the Tribe tonight. Right side of the plate has been a big issue for us all season long, and it's really hurting us right now. What can be done? Is it really that big of a deal? We got the Cavs draft coming up, 4 players, 4 big picks that will be the foundation for the next probably 5-10 years, and for the future of the Cavs and our NBA happiness or big deep depression, I guess. I don't know. Also, the Queen of Miami now has a ring. Is that closure for us? Whether it's good or bad, is it closure? You still ticked off. We still want to I'll pretty much kick him right in the ass. So we're gonna hit that for a little bit. College football now has a tournament of sorts. 4 teams, I think. We're gonna get into a few specifics. There isn't a whole lot out there that we can bat around yet, but at least we can discuss the philosophy behind it, I guess, or the general principle of it. Will it solve the problem? Do we still have a reason to be upset for teams that don't get in? So that will be fun. But first we have to get the miserable crap out of the way. The Queen has won a ring.
Yep.
Game Day Battle is brought to you by Bamboozle's Restaurant and Lounge in Parma. They have the best drink specials anywhere. Seriously, buy one, get one free drinks. How often do you hear of it? You don't. They do it twice a week. Billy's mom makes the pasta sauce all the time, and the burgers, you simply won't find a better one. Check them out, bamboozles.com. Again, bamboozles.com. When you go there, tell them GDB sent you.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so the NBA Finals. Is it time to move on? Is this it? LeBron with the ring. He's got his championship. Are we done worrying about it?
I can't give him respect yet. I can't. You know, it's a short season, 66 games, and they can win the championship. By all means, this is a joke title. To me, this is nothing. Yep. To me, it's got a little asterisk next to their name saying, "Oh, this is only a half season, whatever." They could not do it in a full season. They wore out later on in game 5 and 6, and the Mavericks beat them. I can't give him respect. To me, this is just, playing a little high school, playoff. You know, I had friends yelling at me saying this is, they still had to do, best of 7. I go, I don't care. They still have a lot more energy if they played an 82-game season.
That's true. I mean, it's a good point that the one thing that he did every single year with us and last year with Miami was crap out. And late in games, late in the season, when it mattered, and that didn't happen because we didn't really have a full season. So that's a very, very good point. Do you think that he played a good series overall? I mean, despite the reasoning, but do you think he played a good series?
I also put this on Twitter. I go, I've never seen LeBron James play as hard as he did in every single, series games that I had seen him this year. He played his heart out. He played, very well. He played, up to his, his standards. And I've never seen that happen. Even when he was in Cleveland, he always, if we are on the brink of elimination, he would always give up and just kind of go out there and just be half-assed. But he played right down the middle. He played all 4 quarters. He played every minute.
And there's no doubt about that. He played harder than he ever has. And Dale, do you think that that this is him finding himself as a true champion now? Or do you think it was just the situation, they were able to pull game 2 out, gave him some confidence?
Yeah.
Do you think it was other factors that may not be there in the future?
Well, right now we can speculate on all the different reasons, but all that's going to matter in 5, 10, 20, 50 years is that they won a championship, and that's what it comes down to. He finally got his ring. I feel like I got closure on it. I really do.
All right, good.
Because I spent these past 2 years more rooting against him than even rooting for the Cavs, to be honest with you. Sad to admit that, but
we said that multiple times.
Just wanted to hate on him. But now that it's all done and he got it, I feel like now I can move on. I feel Cleveland fans can move on. The past 2 years, if you asked anybody about LeBron and Cleveland came up, everybody was all like, "Oh, fuck Cleveland! You guys didn't deserve him. You didn't do what you could do. You didn't do the right things to produce a winner when he was here." And it was tough to hear that. But now that it's all died down, it is what it is. He's with the Heat. They're going to win multiple championships. And I think we can finally close the book on it and write it off. Can't call him a loser anymore. He's a champion. So, I I really wanted him to apologize. I was waiting for it. I'm like, you know what? If he wins the championship, and Game 5 was so tough to watch because, I mean, it was over at the fourth quarter. You know, you had to sit there and muscle through it and have your face rubbed in the whole thing. And, you know, but afterwards, if he just would have been like, you know, I want to apologize to everybody in Cleveland. You know, it was a bad move. It's what I wanted. I wanted to win a championship. And then I would have been like, all right, you know, cool. I'm done with it. But, you know, right after the game, sure enough, that big FU via the Nike commercial where they got the guy working on the diamond rings, and they show him in Cleveland, and then basically all that was a giant middle finger to Cavaliers fans.
The worst part about the commercial, I could have handled, but the worst part was I think one of the final scenes, like in the middle there, where he took the jersey off after the last Cleveland game he played.
He walked under the tunnel.
I mean, I could have handled the draft and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But just the exposure, bringing that up again, I go, that's some bullshit, you know? Fuck you, Nike. And that's why I don't wear your shit.
And a commercial like that is pre-made for waiting for them to win so that they can run it. I mean, that's the idea. So, I mean, that's still...
You better be giving the refs some rings, too, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. They were part of the big three. I think they were more than Bosch was in that series.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Without a doubt. But to put my finishing stamp on the whole LeBron scenario, he's not a leader, okay? He wasn't a leader when he was on the Cavaliers, but he was top dog, because he was the best player and it was his city and it was everything. So when it came time for him to shine and be that guy and carry it on his back, while we did see him do it sometimes, it wouldn't be enough to be able to take over a series. No one man could do that. So him kind of going to Miami, taking the back seat to that leadership role, but still going out there and performing and being a terrific athlete, which is what he is. And then Dwayne Wade taking more of that leadership role, but giving away some of the scoring spotlight. I think that's what allowed him to thrive. That's why he didn't thrive in Cleveland, because even guys who we brought in, we couldn't bring in that guy to be the leader and then still not throw off LeBron as top dog. So it was almost a double-edged sword. You know, we tried bringing those guys in, and it didn't work out, because in Cleveland, everyone was expecting him to be the leader, and that just wasn't his personality. And that goes for any kind of basketball player. You can be a superb athlete, one of the greatest athletes to play the game, but just lack leadership and the kind of person you are. I mean, just because you can shoot a three and make 9 out of 10 doesn't make you a positive attitude person that can put people on their back and carry everyone else with you. So he found a team where he could play to his strengths, where he doesn't have to be that guy, and it wasn't going to be in Cleveland, and it was really sad, because when you hear the stories that this might have been pre-planned going back to the 2006 Olympics when they had plans of meeting up. It
absolutely was, yeah.
Exactly, and it's like, did LeBron throw games? How do you leave Cleveland if you won a championship here? And the answer is you can't. You can't walk away from a championship caliber team. So, I mean, a lot of underlying issues, but I feel now like I can just put them all to bed. He got his ring, whatever. He's a D-bag. He screwed over Cleveland. That'll never change. But maybe I can get back to watching Cavalier basketball and just focus on that and not have to worry about this whole nonsense that comes with being a Cavalier fan, because I feel like it's done now.
And Ramon, you saw LeBron back in his first trip to the finals. And then you saw Durant, who got a lot of I don't know if you could call it anger or I guess ridicule, but he did get a lot of scrutiny from the media and from the punditry and from fans, because he didn't dominate the way he's dominated so often. And a lot of times it was foul trouble. In fact, most times it was foul trouble. It was being uncertain at key moments. Given all of that, would you take Kevin Durant at this point in his career, or LeBron at that point in his career, the first trip to the finals? Which one do you think was a more valuable player?
Well, I'm going to go with Durant, because Durant's always been the leader of that team. But one thing I have to say about OKC is they're lost as a team in general. Like, Westbrook scoring 46 and they still lose. But Durant was nowhere to be found, you know what I'm saying? Or Harden just seemed lost out there. You know, they get to the finals, the caliber of talent they faced going into the finals was way more competitive than the Heat's, you know, opponents. But OKC just didn't have it. It wasn't, you know, their time, like Dale said, but they were just lost.
You know, you can't play 10 points down to anybody, especially in the finals. You're not going to get very far.
But and they got down early on usually because they were just missing shot after shot after shot. It was like they weren't setting.
Yeah.
They weren't looking for a clean shot. They were trying to get that lead early. They kept missing. And realistically, if you ignore the score, they were outplaying Miami over and over. They were doing such a good job of getting turnovers and playing good defense.
Real hustle plays.
They really were. And then they wouldn't get the shot. So the steal on one end was completely negated by a quick shot on the other end.
Yeah.
And so these are the type of mental mistakes that I think a young team would make. They wanted to make it happen all right now, and they don't want to settle down. I would rather see that than, and this goes to my question that I asked Ramondale. Durant, even Westbrook at this point, and then LeBron at his point in his first finals, you saw a sort of laid back, let's just enjoy this, compared to I'm going to do too much and pretty much destroy our chances of winning by trying to do too much.
Right.
Which would you rather have?
I would take Durant in his youth. That was the question. Would I rather have Durant at his first finals or LeBron at his first finals? I'd probably go with Durant.
And I mean, moving forward, you'd have this player.
But I mean, now, come on, guys, be honest. We hate LeBron, but he was clearly the most dominant player in that series. They could not stop him. He would just take it to the rim, and there was no answer for it. He could get around everybody. I've never seen the guy go left so many times in my entire career. Normally, he's that guy that goes right.
Right.
But, I mean, every time he drove, he was driving left and just making these left banks. And
this goes back to my comment that I've never seen him play this hard in a finals or in a playoff. He played his heart out.
Right, but you can't overlook the fact that there are 3 All-Stars on that team. Now, if you want to say Bosh is no longer an All-Star, fine. But when he formed that team, and the 3 of them got together and said, let's make a team, they were 3 All-Stars. So it is a dream team. Without Bosh and without Wade, it's not like that team just sailed on without a problem. Without Bosh, there's a good chance, if he hadn't come back, when he came back, and been able to play at full force like he could, they might have lost that series to Boston. Mm-hmm. And you look at what KG did before Bosh's return, and then look what he did after Bosh's return. So if you take one of the All-Stars out of that equation, is LeBron really that dominant? Or when you've got 3 guys to deal with, and you got to throw a lot of your team at all 3 guys, doesn't it open up those lanes? LeBron can go left, he can go right, he can step back and shoot. They've got a lot of potential, a lot of power, a lot of talent.
I'm telling you, though, I'm ready for the time when Cleveland will be there and LeBron will have to go through us to get through a series. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for a Cavs Miami Heat playoff series, and that would be spectacular.
And here's the question then: what do we need to make that happen? NBA draft, it's here.
2 days away.
2 days away at the time of filming, and there are some really, really good possibilities here, some good prospects. Beyond that, we have 4 picks. 4 picks in a 2-round draft. We have number 24, I believe. Is that right? 24?
Yep.
And then we've also got 2 picks at the top of the 2nd round. The 2nd round of the NBA isn't that big of a deal, but those are your bench players. You get a couple of quality guys there, they make the difference, as we saw with Miami in off the bench in big games. This is where you get them. So I thought it'd be a good idea. We could just look at 4 guys for that first pick that we actually have a chance of getting, and that would help us.
Okay.
So I say we start off with DST. What do you got?
All right. I've been looking at a lot of mock drafts. Almost like the NFL draft, it looks like the first 2 picks, are pretty solid. But after the 3 and 4 spot, there's been talks of trades. Cavaliers maybe been trying to trade up with Washington, or they might stay put. But if they do stay at 4, and the top 2 go as planned, and who's number 3? Who's your guy, Ramon? Brandon.
Oh.
Beal. Or no.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. If he ends up going to Washington, I think the Cavaliers are going to roll with Harrison Barnes, small forward out of UNC, guy 6'8", 220 pounds, 7-foot wingspan. Now, when I looked at this, I looked at the Cavaliers starting lineup, And small forward is definitely, I would say, our biggest need. While a lot of people will argue the center position, I think the Cavaliers are going to stick with Andy at center and Jamison at the power forward position if they don't end up moving him. So that just leaves small forward as a glaring need, I feel. I mean, just good riddance, Omri Caspi. Let's get that guy out of here because he is a chump. I don't even think he's starter. I would rather see us start Guy than Omri Caspi.
Well, he played well.
Yeah. But I mean, this guy. I mean, I'll tell you what. He's got a pretty astonishing college career. Coming into to college in 2010, he was the #1 prospect on Scout.com and ESPNU.com. So some good credentials there. 16 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, shot 43%. 2011 ACC Rookie of the Year. 2012 First Team All ACC, Second Team All American. He was also got some history with Kyrie as well. They played in the 2010 Jordan Brand Classic, where they were co-MVPs of that game. So I don't know if you watched that, but I watched some highlights from it, and they were just double teaming him.
That could definitely be helpful. I know you've got Drummond, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a guy I don't know if I'd like to see in wine and gold because he's such a good prospect and also such a good possible bust. And really, this isn't a time for a bust, but hey, let's just take a look at him. I know he's got a lot of talent. Mm-hmm. You can definitely say that. But inconsistent, is that a good way to put it?
Andre Drummond is going to be a player that you have to work with. I mean, since we are starting, I don't want to say rebuilding here, but we are kind of, getting those players. He's a project, it's what he is. As soon as he gets the rebound, he can put it back up, and he's a great passer.
The ability to sort of react quickly like that is important, especially if you combine that with the ability to dump it off or the willingness to dump it off. And that sets up a lot of stuff for the other guys on the floor, especially Kyrie.
I mean, some of his weaknesses, I would say, is he's horrible at the free throw line. He's only 29%. Oof. Yeah, so he's pretty horrible at that. He only attempted 2.6 free throws per game, so he's never usually at the line that much. One of the knocks he gets is that he's not the most consistent guy, and he's not the most aggressive guy. But really, my biggest problem with him is late in the game, you want your biggest force, your biggest threat down the center to be there. He's going to get fouled. He's going to be on the foul line. Do you want a guy that can't knock a free throw down?
Yeah, but also, I mean, by the fourth quarter, that 7-foot guy isn't really keeping up with all the other guys on the field. Yeah, he's usually the guy you see struggling to get back by that time, and that's when the big men usually tend to disappear, is towards the end of the game where they're most dominant when they're fresh.
All right, I know he's a pretty solid shooter. I know he's the guy also that it's been rumored that the Cavs want to jump up a little bit to make sure they get.
Bradley Beal is another big name. They're looking at if they move up. Shooting guard. We all know that bum Anthony Parker ain't doing nothing for us. So definitely need to upgrade that. Well, we got two bums. Two bums will make it right. All right, so this guy, he's 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan. The guy is, well, not anymore, but was a freshman for Florida. Averaged about 15 points, 2.2 assists. The dude is a gifted shooter. He knocks down consistent, 20-footers all day. So, but the downfall is he's not that real dribbler, so he can't get out of situations. Which, when they start double teaming, you got the hot hand. That's when you look to give up the ball.
Well, but if he's a star, he can just pick the ball up and run a bunch of steps. They're not going to call him, right?
Yeah, that's true. A little crab dribble or something?
Yeah, refs don't seem to care. As long as you're a star, you can pick the ball up and run a while.
They don't even care if you dribble.
Just tuck it right here. And then
it's making a new sport. It's kind of like football and basketball. You got to tackle the guy. Like Kidd-Gilchrist. That is another smart guy.
Big hype by him, man.
Yeah, smart guy, hard worker. He is a jack of all trades, master of absolutely nothing. You cannot look at any part of his game and say that's his deal. That's where he'll excel in the NBA. But if you look at his total game, you've got a really nice package of a player, except for his shot. He may not be the best shooter, and we need a shooter, and that maybe makes him not the best pickup for us. But You've got a guy that is, he's a decent rebounder. He's an average scorer, even without the shot. But he's aggressive. He is absolutely ruthlessly aggressive. He attacks the rim constantly, maybe too much, and that can be taught. That can be coached. But he attacks the rim. And I love nothing more than just pound, get in there, beat them down. You're gonna get to the line. You're gonna make them have to react every single play. That opens up the outside shot. It makes it easier for guys to shoot, even if they aren't the best shot. It still makes them easier to shoot. And for Kyrie to have that sort of a dump off, to have that sort of a threat whenever he wants it, I think that's huge. And the guy doesn't quit. He never quits. And that with the aggression is enough for me. What do you think?
I don't want to see this bitch.
All right, let's go.
Oh, there you go. On the other side.
Food's waiting. Come on.
Yeah, remember last time they shut down?
Yeah, Brett.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to miss that.
Oh, yeah. Blame it on me when there's 3 other fucking guys here.
All right, so it's time for the raising of the beer. We have a very, very small amount of time left tonight, and we're going to use this little bit of time to raise our beer to somebody we hate, to bitch about something. It's a chance just to do whatever the hell we want for about 2 minutes. So, Brett, hit me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I said Brett.
I know you guys are probably gonna hate me for this one, but I'm gonna raise my beer to Norris Cole. A fellow Cleveland State Viking from Ohio, where getting his first championship ring. Granted, when he played fairly well. Granted, it's a team that I didn't want to win, but congratulations to you in your first year. You played pretty well for the Vikings, and there's too many more. That's not of the Miami Heat.
Enjoy your ring because you look weird.
You know you got as many rings.
I like the fade. Come on now, man. The flat top fade is Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that's your style.
Yeah, I'm about to do it.
Norris Cole, Cleveland State. All right, I'll drink to you, asshole.
I won't pour my beer out to you.
Come on.
And hey, if he was in wine and gold, I'd be all about it. But he's not.
Oh wait, guess what? Maybe LeBron was with Miami Heat and he still won with the Miami Heat. He'd still be all over it.
Guys, it's all good. LeBron's coming back to Cleveland.
Yeah,
after his contract's up, he's going to come back here.
Good, man.
And we're going to win.
Yeah, you don't think Gil's going to bring him back because he just loves him. God. Hey, Ramon, what's yours?
Do you have anything good to add to this?
No.
Anchorman 2's coming out.
But I am gonna pour some beer out and raise a beer. I got 2.
What?
I'm gonna pour my beer out to the NBA and this ref stuff that's going on, this whole playoffs.
I'm with that.
Basically a slap in the face to all your fans, the way this is going. You guys even handle this. You guys didn't even come out and even, not even, not even a press conference, not even defending yourself as the NBA. David Stern has said nothing at all about this. And you know what? And they blatantly show the stuff and then it's being overlooked. And what else can I say?
It's time for robotic referees.
Yes.
What I think we
Or bring in those vets.
It is some bullshit.
Let's get a panel of 5, and they will be shown a replay of every play, and then decide.
It's not even fun to watch no more.
I like it.
I'm gonna raise my beer to my little NASCAR joke I just made a little early. But shout out to Earnhardt Jr. for winning that race, first race in a while.
Hey, his name's Dale. I'll drink to that. I will.
So it'd be a DEJ.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
That does.
That guy down there.
Yeah, whatever.
It had nothing to do with you. It was fucking DST. I fucking hate him.
I totally ripped one.
It smelled horrible. It grabbed it all down here. It was in my mouth. It was
I don't breathe when I'm sitting next to this
Literally
guy.
lasted as long as you're raising. It just
yeah. It's like I'm turning my head.
You gotta respect it though.
Well, oh yeah, you don't. You're trying to run from it.
My glass. You're up next.
I want to raise my beer to a couple of Cleveland Indians that are about to be
Traded. No?
or traded. Potentially, they're good, so we will trade them away for nothing or just cut them. But what was it? Kipnis and Cabrera, right?
Yep.
for All-Star, and we have the power to make them All-Stars, and that is the kind of boost that I think I'd like to see.
My beer about that.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Believing. We're all Kidd-Gilchrists.
We're all
I like it.
Yes.
You might be onto something there. You might be onto something.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Speaking of witnesses, I'm going to raise my beer to someone who I never thought I would raise my beer to ever
Don't
again.
do it. Don't do it.
In order to give me closure,
Don't do it.
I'm raising my beer to LeBron James.
No, dude. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Finally getting the ring.
No, you're not.
And pulling out the championship. What?
All right. Hey, I want to raise my new beer to Mike Glass for finishing off DST. Thanks, Mike.
Fuck you, LeBron. I would never raise my beer to you, asshole.
Sorry about killing you, man.
It's all right. I got 8 lives left.
Oh my God, zombie.
Lay off the bath salts.
I'm gonna raise my beer to bath salts.
And eating people's faces off.
Making boring Friday nights a thing of the past.